the team that brought you Cheesy Pass. I bring you 808 MassiveTutorials. Hi class, Jared Go away. I am here to talk about 808 kicks and hits. I'm going to make two different sounds within Massive today and show you hopefully multiple ways how to use it. It's a very dynamic synthesis tool. It can make pretty much anything, but we all know, or a lot of people know, that it's used for really good bass hits. So let's take a look at it. Make an instrument track. Create a mono track because you're always going to want to record your bass in mono. It's just going to be consistent pretty much wherever you go. And this is what Massive looks like. This is the oscillator bank. You can switch between many different oscillators that you can mix between the two and send to various envelopes, which we have down here in LFOs. This is a section where you can create your own rhythm, but I believe Jonathan will tell you about that. So let's, I guess, get started. I'm going to start off with an 808 kick. First thing we're going to want to do, though, is check for, in the voicing tab, for this to be on monophonic sound, because when you hit each next sound, you want to you don't want the last note to carry over into the current note. You want to have just you want to create a new hit every time it hits, and you don't want to like have any muddy bass signal. So that's going to really help you there. And then also go over to the oscillator menu and hit this restart via gate button. This is just going to make sure that all your oscillators hit at the same time, and you'll just be able to really get a consistent signal throughout all of your hits, and that'll just help your mixing a lot, even more. And sometimes the glide will be up, but we want to keep it down for this. So first, we're going to go over to the first oscillator and do a sine square wave. Pull down your wave. This is the wavetable position. You're going to pull that all the way to the left. This is going to get you the cleanest sound that you can start with, because we're going to do some distortion and adding some effects to it later. But you want to start with the cleanest sound that you can then modulate later. So I'm going to then pitch this down about 24 semitones. And we're not going to use any of these filters, so I'm just going to do a couple moves to bypass those. And these are just sending it to the various areas, so that's just bypassing the filter altogether. I want to put this at 24. Alright, then I'm going to come down to this first envelope here. And what we're going to do is we're going to map an envelope to the pitch modulator to get this interesting sound coming out. Let's see. Alright, so we're going to pull the attack. There we go. Sorry. It's playing too low notes. It's very deep at this point. So let's pay attention to this envelope again. Got a little distracted. once this is a base kick, so pretty much the attack for everything is you're going to want to be really fast. So we're going to pull the attack down, down the release or the sustain. I mean, you can kind of pull in or out the release to your own wishes. It really is kind of being personal preference at this point. But I'm gonna keep it kind of short, just because we're kind of going for more of a kick. Just put it at like 2 o'clock. That's pretty good. Just doing a couple moves to try and. So let's then take this envelope that we've created. You just click where you see these arrows pointing, and you drag it up to the pitch modulator right there. Turn it up. I usually put it at about 17. See how it's taking the pitch and giving it kind of this kind of interesting glidey kind of tone. It's more of just a character. Let's add a couple more character pieces though. I like this noise section over here, and the tape hiss is one that I find kind of works well with these kicks because it gives a little kind of flavor to the beginning hit if you map it, just so. You can kind of hear a little bit. Gives it that hiss. If you turn it down just so much, these speakers aren't amazing, to be honest, but you can really get a good. Sorry about that. Just trying to get my sound right. Let's continue. So that's mapping the first envelope up there. We got a little bit of this tape noise, which gives a nice little hiss to the front of the beat, or the front of the hit. Let's go to this envelope 4, which is mapped to the amplitude of the patch, which is up here. And just kind of like we did before, we want a fast attack. That's really what we're going for completely. So let's see, pull down the sustain again. These are all moves that are just helping kind of shape how the hit will kind of ring out. That's kind of it's an interesting spot, and for many that could be a stopping point. Those are the building blocks kind of a 808, and doing more is just kind of personal preference, and let's keep doing that. Let's mess with a couple more things. Let's go down to this first insert and turn on the sine shaper, because I think it kind of, as the name suggests, it shapes the sine wave a little bit and kind of beefens it up and makes the signal a little stronger. I'll bring the drive to like about 7, and these are called macro controls over here to the right, and you can map them to individual things and kind of get a more an even more or you just get even more control over the width, the parameters of how much you're sending to certain things. And if you put a macro control on multiple sources, you can control all of those at once, which can be really helpful. So this is giving it a nice little character to me. But sometimes there's a routing problem, so you can come and kind of see like what the physical patches would be and make sure it's just on over here. Excuse me. Next, let's add a little bit of effects to even make it a little beefier. I like this classic tube sound. It sounds really great. I put it on most of my basses that I make. Bring this to about 10 o'clock, or both of them kind of around 10 o'clock. That's just it's kind of making it even fatter, grittier sound. There is EQ. You can come in, boost the low a little bit, and pull out some highs if you'd like. Ooh. But there's you can play around the master volume and kind of see how loud you want it, or kind of modulate from there. But that's one 808 kit right there. Let's label that 808. Probably could have done that earlier. And there we go. That's one sound. I'm gonna go ahead and make one more. I'm gonna go a little faster and maybe say a little less, but I think maybe from what I've shown, it'll help see kind of what I'm doing on a kind of a workflow within Massive, and I'll also be saying a few things along the way. But all of the moves will be similar from the last bass, but just used in different ways. So I'm gonna start the same way. Mono. This one's gonna be a little bit of a harder hit. I'm gonna kind of make this a little heavy. The next thing I'm gonna do different here is I'm gonna create a second oscillator with a smooth square at a different pitch to kind of beefing up this tone. What it is so far. Not much yet. We're gonna kind of go over to the envelope and do similar things as we did before. Get these attack, decay time, kind of being one of the main features of what we want to focus on. And we're gonna put this on both of our pitch mods for both oscillators, and turn them up to, let's go crazy, like done this. Usually put it at like 36. It's not gonna kill you to do. any in between number, but it's a number I've landed on doing it a couple times. Okay, let's see. That decay is kind of intense. Okay, so we're getting somewhere. Let's see. Let's go. That's better. Live, live just kind of making sounds here. It's not going planned. Let's put we will use a filter here, so let's put a low pass on it. I guess that one's not doing anything. I don't know why I moved that, but why not? Take out some of those highs, boost some of the lows. And this Q over here. And put the C tube on it again because I love it. I done said it. Sounded pretty beefy, right? Boom. And there's another 808 sound. See if we can't just make something really quickly. Or actually, let's do something. Let's just make something quick. Usually have a battery ready for this. cool sounds you can make. That's those. I was trying to use that as a bass more than a kick, but that's some of it 808s and some of Massive. I hope this was helpful. Thank you.